Hi everyone, it's Athena and welcome back to my channel. It's the 16th of February, 2021. So I have a little journal that I keep sayings, if you will, that I have accumulated over the years, and today's one of the sayings that came to my mind today is the power of one's life experiences bleed through the scars of the deepest wounds of our past. We can guide, first of all, we cannot heal others. We can only guide them during their healing process, right? One must experience their own power of wisdom that comes from that time, let's say, as the dark night of the soul. You can't explain the dark night of the soul, but you can guide someone in some of the things that might occur during that time. But you can only speak of that time if you've gone through it, right? We know that. And we're not here to heal another. We're here to guide them, because we ourselves are still being guided. Okay, let's see what the general reading is for today. Or whenever it applies, you know what I mean? Right? The knowledge and wisdom of one's experience, some people learn and others don't. Others continue to do the same old They continue to do the same old thing over and over again because they haven't learned. So there's a difference with everyone's experiences. A lot of people come to me and they say, yeah, for sure, I'm healed, I've forgiven, I've done the work, and then cards like this show up. It's not about your needing to profess the healing that one has to go through, because it's never ending. It's just, if you continue to do the same old, you can't, right? It takes a while to guide someone else through your own experiences. And when we haven't completely healed ourselves, we are not able to move on and or help anyone else, right? This person continues to leave the scene the same way they did the last time. The knowledge that they're taking is accumulation of what looks like, right, I won, instead of I've learned. Family issues. Within a family structure, what does that mean? It means that this is what comes with the territory. It comes with the territory. It's part of our genes, of our DNA. It may be a part of our DNA, but we have the ability and responsibility to change our ways, to not accept those people who have hurt us, those people who we call family, right? Those are the ones that hurt us the most sometimes. Isn't that true? It's truly someone who is nearest and dearest to our heart that hurt us. And the lessons that this guy keeps coming in and out of a situation is because of the upbringing, the DNA, and this person has not yet taken responsibility for the things that they've done. They continue to exit left and continue to do it again. Their lessons need to be learned, and they have yet to learn them. And it's not for anyone else's, it's not to place the blame somewhere. It's not. This isn't about blame. This is about just understand that this is the dynamic here of the narrative, which is our childhood wounds make us who we are today. And if we haven't healed and forgiven and done the work, we're going to end up coming back. It comes back around. Things just come back. So we have Leo, Aries, Sag. It could be Leo, Aries, Sag, right? But it also could be, it could also be the movement of, I'm going to say it, is there such a thing as movement of bullshit? You know what I mean? It's like a continuation of bullshit in a family that someone's trying to probably escape from the bullshit, right? But they just can't. They can't. Circumstances are beyond this guy's control. So this could be a brother, an uncle, an in-law, right? A brother-in-law, something that which is in the family dynamic of someone's not taking responsibility of what needs to be done here, right? Definitely not saying, this guy exits left and says, hey, I had nothing to do with that. And you know they did. Now, is this guy, this one, I don't feel it. I don't feel it at all. I feel this Leo, Aries, Sag, or the energy of, I'm getting to the bottom of this, is who this guy is. This guy needs to get to the bottom of someone who clearly is bleeding out. Trying to escape at every cost, weaving the story this way and that way, anyway, but taking responsibility for what they've done, right? Right. Okay. Let's see what else. Wow, this is an interesting one, right? So this, I feel that whatever anxiety, whatever fights, whatever was going on that changes the narrative, which means as many times as you talk to a person like this and you try to fight against the curve of someone who is just wanting to exit left when responsibility is calling or information is needed, right? This guy leaves. He doesn't want to be bothered. He doesn't want to take the blame, nor will he, right? So it's kind of like, what is it? It's like stand down. You can't do anything about people like this. You just take yourself out of the equation. That's the best thing to do. And this is what I feel the King of Wands has done. He has given up the fight. He stood down. He said, well, he said, this isn't worth my energy. My time and my energy is valuable. And if you're going to continue to hand me a lot of crap, a lot of bullshit, then I'm not going to put up with it. I'm just going to take my energy and put it towards something that I need to resolve or what I'm dealing with right now, right? Whatever that king is dealing with, he doesn't want to deal with people who come and go telling you or trying to sell you a bill of goods that is not good. It's a love situation. Oh, do we have a competition between two people? That could very well be. Funny how the female is completely out of this scope of this reading, right? But she's the center of the reading. She's the center of this reading. It's someone who is trying to manipulate a situation to their liking in a family. So maybe there's an issue with the family's situation as to who gets what, who gets her. It's masculine here. So who gets the girl? Is the family not accepting the person the King of Wands is interested in? Are they not accepting of someone because, or is someone telling stories about this love affair? Is someone lying and telling stories that are not true just to gain, just to gain more ego? This is so ego. It's all ego. So the narrative is going around, and it could be with friends and family, that are needing to literally figure out what this guy is doing and what he's trying to get away with. He's telling stories. This one's telling stories that aren't true about a situation. Maybe he doesn't want to get caught. Maybe he does have a lover on the side and he doesn't want to get caught. So he's weaving a narrative that will it will sway people the opposite direction, saying, I'm the good guy. Listen, we don't know who this guy is, but he came out front and center, didn't he? Right? Could this be an ex of this woman who's now coming into this situation saying, well, what are you talking about? Right? Someone could be married. Someone could be involved in a third-party situation, right? Two men vying for one woman's love. Someone external, however, is lying and changing the narrative, the story, to fit their own to justify the means. However, I have this feeling that this guy, I don't know, I just felt it. I have a feeling this guy is not far from the truth. Here's what I think. I think this guy is the honest guy. And I think he's trying to hide it by not doing anything about it. It's kind of like, what is it? Reverse psychology. I think someone's fessing up and telling the true story that there's this guy who's got a lover. Someone has this lover, right? This is Gemini. We have swords here, so it makes sense. Someone's changing the narrative and someone's trying to ignore it, right? Because this is true. So the lies and deception are not that much, that's not the case. The lies and the deception are actually the truth. He's calling him out on it. And everyone has been listening. Some don't believe it and some do. That's how I feel. Sometimes, what do we say in situations like this? Sometimes we don't listen to the one who comes and says, yeah, they've been having an affair for years. And you're like, oh my God, no way. They wouldn't do that. he's not that kind of guy, you know. And I'm saying it masculine because it's all masculine here, right? So, and or it could be an ex who's saying, stay away because you're married. This could be this could be this woman's brother. I just heard it. This person could be an ex of this woman's, or a brother, or someone who is part of her family trying to keep him away from her. Or it's a competitive thing. So of course it's a general reading, but that's what's going down. Let's look at the bottom. Someone's escaping. That's it. So there's a lot here going on. Either the King of Wands is changing the narrative and lying so he doesn't get caught, or this is a family issue where someone in the family is calling someone out, or he's manipulating the situation so he doesn't get caught. And or the female's brother and or family member is trying to get her to leave a situation by coming and fessing up with the truth so she can escape. Because these are like this is all swords. This is Gemini. So who's weaving what story to escape, to get the truth out, or to manipulate the truth, right? Because we have that. These are like our deepest secrets, our deepest wounds. These are the wounds that continue over and over again. Someone's been doing this over and over again, right? And it's also is someone who continues to deceive in order to receive. And you know justice is going to be served. You know that because someone's going to get caught in their own web of lies. So if it is the King of Wands who has a lover on the side, he's trying, I feel also he's been trying to, right? He's been trying to manipulate, but then he goes from manipulation to not being aggressive at all, right? So it's like he comes in, maybe it's to the family or without the external people around him, and he'll say one thing and maybe he does another. He may come also with the line of they're lying, right? And then it's like passive, it's a little passive aggressive, just a tinge of passive aggressive, just a tinge, where sometimes he's really involved in trying to weave the narrative, and at other times I feel he takes a seat. He takes a seat. Yeah. And so that's his way of manipulation. That's the back and forth. Some days he's on a new storyline and justifying the means, and other times he's takes a seat to veer those people off course, to get them at their own game, which is funny because it's his game, not anyone else's. Do you know what I'm saying? Interesting. This is very interesting, but there you go. You know, you can't, it's really true. Karma doesn't lose anyone's number. So, has he learned his lesson? it looks like Spirit is saying, why don't you look up and look at your own self and how you view love? And why don't you love yourself enough? Do you realize that by trying to manipulate situations, you're just showing Spirit that you have no desire to change? So Spirit's giving this guy a chance, an opportunity to change by fessing up. Just tell the truth and you will set yourself free. Right? Spirit is saying, justice is going to be served. Karma here, it's all about the karma that you have acquired time and time again. So isn't it time to stop these games? Because you have accumulated a lot of so-called bad karma that's going to come back at you. And look who showed up in the picture. Gemini. It is a Gemini. It could be Gemini moon, because the moon's here. And it could be masculine with fire in their chart, or the person who is the third party is fire in their chart. Someone tried, and now I'm hearing, oh my God, now I'm hearing someone tried to frame the Gemini. I feel that that's another scenario. I feel that someone tried to frame someone else so that the true situation of what's been going on for like at least 7 years. Right? Yep. That's what's happening. And now, you know, it's who do you believe in the storyline, in the narrative? Who do you believe? Do you believe the lover? Do you believe the third party, or the actual person who's doing the manipulating of the narrative to make their own case? Maybe there's a case here. Maybe this is a case of, right, someone's, maybe this is about, I don't see divorce, I really don't, but let's just say if it is something, it could be, it doesn't have to be divorce. I'm feeling maybe this is a legal case of maybe rights to, with these 3 cards, with these 4 cards, right? It could be rights to I'm hearing, I'm also hearing someone going to a lawyer to get someone right, a restraining order I'm hearing as well. So this could mean restraining order. This could mean someone tried to steal money, right? Laundering. Someone knows the ins and outs of someone laundering money or manipulating situations, because here's money, look. Someone could have taken money from a job, from a family dynamic, and someone's outing them. There's a lot here, right? Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to leave it at that, because that is pretty deep. There's a lot here. So this is what we're talking about as I meditated and shared with you one of the sayings that I have written is, this stuff runs deep. And here is the example of the family wounds over the course of time Who knows how long? Decades, perhaps, right? That someone's been trying to get away with a lot. And now they're being called to the carpet, literally. So, I mean, obviously karmic justice will be had, you know. Take a risk. Look at that. Someone took a risk. Someone took a risk. But I think the risk was to frame someone else of their own crap. Let's get two more. Someone took a risk that now is it's time to pay the piper. That's what it is. Someone was trying to utilize their creativity to manipulate the narrative. They took a risk by doing it and thought they wouldn't get caught. And now they have to pay. Soul work. This was part of their soul work. This happening is part of all of our work. What we do. What do we do when we look at situations like this? Do we learn from others' mistakes? That's what I mean. Right? Do we see situations like this? Don't we see it every day? Right? In some way, shape, or form, be it a family member or whatever, or ourselves, right? Do we, when we see this externally, when we observe it, or it's in our family, or whatever dynamic it is in, whatever, wherever and whenever we have seen this kind of situation where families are broken apart, where cheating's involved, where lying, stealing, manipulating the system is involved, do we learn from their mistakes? Because that's part of our mistakes if it's in our circle, right? Because we're all connected. So whether or not you're physically on this 3D earth plane involved in this situation, you are observing it, witnessing it. Why? Because we're talking about it right now. So we're all in this together. So when we see someone trying to take this kind of, you know, they took a risk that obviously was a great risk and tried to what? Maybe create a financing, right? Creating some, and also creating some distractions so people would get off course. Sorry, I'm playing with my hair. Why am I playing with my hair? Sorry. But you know what I'm saying? So that's someone's lessons. That's their soul work. That's what they need to work on because they've been doing it so many years probably, right? So the last part of this is, do we, when we see this, do we learn? Have we learned? Or do you judge? Right? Your call. Have a great day.